Hey, welcome back to my channel. So what I wanted to go over today is some really basics around color mixing with gouache. And this is going to help you kind of moving forward when you're mixing colors either on location, in the studio. Just let's get down to really basics with this color wheel here so we can see kind of how we can use just basically our primary colors to create some secondary colors, but also use our complementary colors to kind of create some nice grays and browns, so you're not using your colors right out of the tube. And so just a basic starting point is, we have these primaries. We have yellow, red, and blue. And the complement of that color, of those primary colors, is usually directly across from them on the color wheel. So a blue is orange, of red is green, and yellow is purple. And so to mix your kind of secondary colors, you would basically take yellow and red and you would get orange here, or you would take yellow and blue and you would get your green, or you take your red and blue and get purple. I think that's a really great place to just start. And what I'm going to do right now is show you just a way that you can kind of start out with these primary colors. And I'm using those Lucas gouache paints that I've been using in the previous videos. And I'm going to just use the primary palette. I'm just going to use the yellow and the red and the blue. And I think this is kind of the warmer tones of that. And what we're going to do is just kind of play around with these colors. It's going to take you a little while, if you're just starting out new in painting, to learn how to mix the other colors. And it's really important that you do understand that eventually, because when you go outside and you sketch, you're going to see all sorts of different colors. One tip that I kind of learned early on when I started painting is, when you're in the landscape or you're looking at an object, what is the color I see? And say that out loud. It has to be one of the 6 colors on the color wheel. And it really helps to just say it out loud. Oh, that's yellow, or that's orange, or that's red, or that's blue, or that's green, or purple. And that really helped me in the beginning. So what I'm doing here is just basically taking the primaries and I'm creating some of these secondary colors. I'm not looking for these things to come out perfect. I'm just really I'm trying to take equal amounts, but sometimes that doesn't happen. But as you can see there, I have now the orange and the green for mixing up the primaries. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to create the purple. And so now you have kind of the primaries and the secondaries here. And, I would kind of play around with different, like put more yellow in that orange, or in just use a tiny bit of red, a lot more yellow, and see where that kind of goes, And what I'm doing here now is basically looking at the complementary of that green. So I took a little bit of red and I'm mixing it in there because I want to show kind of like some of these grays, these really nice grays that you can get. You can also kind of, bring down the kind of chroma of the paint there. So specifically on that one, you can see adding that blue to the orange really gives you a really nice gray. But what I would say is just lay out these 3 colors, and if you have a color wheel or you can get one on the internet, print it out, and just start to try to create these colors on the color wheel, and just kind of play around with it. Because when you are out in the field or you are sketching, if you can mix a whole array of colors that you see in the landscape, you're gonna just have a much better painting at the end of the painting. Okay, so what I'm doing now is just basically taking like some more of that blue, and now just a little touch of red. So you can see now how much more kind of blue that that purple is now. And so yeah, so what I would suggest doing is really starting to kind of build out the color wheel by doing this. Right there I'm taking more red, you know, so now it's leaning more towards the red and it's starting to get warmer. And you know, that might be a really cool color in some sort of fall landscape that I'm working on. But you know, these things will kind of get stuck in your head as you paint more and more and more, you know, in your studio, from photos or from out in the landscape, and mix these colors. You're gonna start to kind of like, it's like going to the gym. You're gonna get reps of this, and you're gonna understand, oh, if I add a little bit of red to my green, I'm gonna get this like really kind of grayed out green that's gonna get knocked down. Because in the summer, at least where I am on Cape Cod, everything's green. So you show up to a marsh and you're like, wow, everything is green. So I'm just gonna use my green out of the tube. And you really can't. You have to start to use some like complementary colors and start to mix a lot of different greens. You might have some cool greens. You might have some warm greens. You might knock down the color a little bit. So here I'm just gonna kind of let you watch kind of me just kind of playing around with different colors here. That's gonna make a much more reddish orange. And so, you know, you can do this all around the color wheel and all around. I just have like a 9x12 sheet of paper there. And when I'm done with it, you know, what I like to do is just kind of look at all the colors I created and try to maybe come up with a name for that color. You know, maybe it's a yellow orange, or it's a, you know, it's a yellow ochre, or, you know, because I've now mixed that color and now I know, oh, you know, put more red in the yellow or whatever it might be. And that's going to kind of like register in my head so that it becomes almost second nature to you. So here I'm going to take and make this purple, but I'm also going to add that yellow to it, and look how brown that gets. Look at that brown. You know, that's going to be super helpful in the landscape. It's kind of this warm brown. And, you know, I know a lot of people talk about mud, but you do need browns, and you do need brownish grays and grays in the landscape when you're painting. I can think of kind of wood scenes or you know, mountain scenes and things like that. So yeah, let's just get back to checking out the color wheel here. And you know, we took our primary colors and kind of made some secondaries and added some complementaries to them. And I hope that kind of helps you get started on mixing color. I'll be getting into more of, you know, warm versus cool colors and mixing with white and hues and things like that in the future, in future videos. But so yeah, thanks for watching. If you'd like to see more videos about using gouache to paint the landscape, please subscribe to my channel. You know, I'll be putting up more tutorials on kind of values, plein air painting, sketchbooking, and more. So I'll see you on the next one. Take care.